So after finishing your playing career, you moved on to coaching. How was the transition from running up and down the court, scoring points, to permanently standing on the sideline, calling plays, giving orders, and making crucial team decisions?
Well, my journey to coaching was not the typical one where you say, okay, you stop playing, you start coaching, probably as an assistant, and you learn and you go on about that way. My story was much different. I was 35, I think, at that time, my last season, and I knew that was going to be my last season. I was playing in Jena. We had just moved up from the second division. We were playing in the Bundesliga, in the first division in Germany. And truth be told, we didn't have very much money. We were terrible. And it was clear that we were going to move back down into the second division. Halfway through the season, the team approaches me and says, hey, would you like to take over as head coach? I'm like, what? What are you talking about, man? I'm still playing. I'm still hooping. What are you talking about? But the problem was, or not the problem, the thing was the reason why they approached me was because I knew that I was retiring after that year, and I was supposed to come on board as an assistant coach under the coach that was there at the time, Bjorn Harmsen. And I was supposed to be his assistant after I finished. And it worked out that we just weren't that good. And coaches are hired to be fired, and they wanted to fire him because we didn't have the success that they felt that we should have.
Right.
Now, a team coming to a player and asking the player to take over during the middle of the season, I can't ever remember hearing a story like that ever on any level. At that point, I had never coached a game in my life. I was never a coach. I was never an assistant coach. I was never a head coach on any level. I was just a player. The club didn't have that much money. They knew that they probably couldn't hire a known coach to take over, change our fortunes, that we stay in the Bundesliga. I had pretty good standing at the team. I'd been there 2 years. And when they approached me after a game, they said, hey, we'd like you to take over as head coach. I said, come on, man, are you crazy? I'm not what you're talking about. I'm enjoying my last year playing. This is not normal. And I told them no. 2 weeks go by, they keep talking to me. Hey, we'd like you to take over. We'd like you to take over. I knew I wanted to coach. That wasn't the thing. But of course, I didn't want to go into coaching without some kind of experience. I had a long talk with my brother. And he was like, look, man, you want to coach. This is what you want to do. What better thing could you ask for to jump right into coaching as a head coach in the biggest market where you're at in the Bundesliga, and you have nothing to lose? You guys are not that good. You can learn a lot by just coaching, and you don't have the pressure that you guys have to stay in the first league or you have to win 20 games or anything like that. You can coach literally and learn by doing. That hit me pretty hard. He was right. And then he told me one more thing that is pretty much very, very consistent with my views and my way of life. He told me, Sean, you're a leader, you're not a follower. Why would you come on as an assistant when you can be the head?
Right.
And that's how I am. I am definitely a leader. I'm not a follower. And even though this way was unconventional, I decided, okay, then let's do it. So basically, I went from playing with most of these guys for 2 seasons, going out, partying, doing everything that teammates do, locker room talk, everything, talking crap about the coach in the locker room, to the next day walking into that locker room and saying, guys, I'm your head coach. There were some rumors. I mean, everybody knew kind of that it would happen, but it really wasn't a foregone conclusion that I would actually take over as head coach.
Okay.
And so I walked in, and from that day on, then I was head coach. I think I coached 15 games, the last 15 games in the Bundesliga.
You didn't play. You weren't a player coach.
I had to stop as a player, but that changed later in the season. So from one day to the next, I was wearing a suit and standing on the sideline.
Right.
I was conducting practice. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in over my head, but I threw everything that I had into it. I had a very good assistant coach that helped me out, and we tried to get the most out of the team that we could. And we ended up winning 3 games, which was one more than the previous coach had been able to win, and that's how we finished the season. It came to a point that I did have to be a player coach. Towards the end of the season, we had some injuries and we didn't have enough money to replace them. So instead of wearing a suit, I had to wear the team uniform on the sideline because we didn't have enough players on the official roster. So, so there was also one game where some guys got hurt, some guys fouled out, that I actually had to check into the game and play a game as the coach and a player.
Wow.
And there's a video on YouTube actually where I hit a shot from the free throw line of one end to the other end against Bremerhaven, where I was actually playing that game as player coach. And that was a surreal moment. But yeah, so that's how it started. And then I finished that first season in Jena, and we, of course, moved down because we were not that great. We moved down into the second division, and I stayed as a head coach for that second season.
Okay.